Good morning, Morris Knolls, and welcome back to News from the Nest.
In today's episode, our reporters provided you with information on why it's good to go outside,
Casey Mejia's take on the elective for childhood exploration,
an explanation on the Oscars controversy,
and the reasons we listen to music. I'm Addie Robbins, my co-host Michael Safkin, and we'll be back for more on these topics in just a moment. Not a lot of people take the time to go outside, especially during school where we're inside all day. We're sometimes told that going outside can benefit us, but in what ways? Here's Selena Guybor and Claire Kim with more on the topic.
It is very important for kids and teenagers to get time to go outside. It's good for your health, helps with attentiveness, and it can help you rest better. In elementary and middle school, there used to be many activities like field days, field trips, recess, and more things outside. As we got into high school, we get less and less outdoor activities, which can negatively impact the students' well-being.
The sun gives you vitamin D, which helps with your bone density. Exposure to the outdoors has also been linked to improved mood and less anxiety. Exercising in nature reduces symptoms of depression, and without time to go outside, you may have more trouble falling asleep at night. Not engaging with the outdoors during light hours blurs the line between day and night, which results in too little melatonin production and less sleep.
It is shown that time outside makes kids more calm, attentive, creative, and helps them become cooperative in relations with other students. It can impact what happens in the classroom, resulting in a calmer, quieter, and safer setting for learning.
Fresh air allows for higher levels of concentration and attentiveness. Being given creative outlets can help teens open their brains in different ways and get them excited about learning and allow them to have fun. Overall, more time outdoors leads to deeper engagement with school, better retention of learning, and a stronger motivation to persist all the way through school.
I believe that it is important because sunlight is a source of vitamin D. A 30-minute walk could probably just give you the boost that you need for the day that a lot of people are lacking of.
Overall, going outside is good for you and improves your mental health, but most importantly, it helps you stay focused during school hours. This has been Selena Guybor and Claire Kim reporting for News from the Nest.
I never knew that going outside could be so beneficial. I'll make sure to go outside more often now, especially since the spring weather is now upon us and it is starting to get warmer out.
there are many electives that can help students after graduating. Exploring childhood is one of those that can set you up for the future and the experiences you may have that will require patience or involve interacting with young kids.
Do you wish you had a little sibling that looks up to you? Early Childhood Development is a course at Morris Knolls taught by Mrs. Simpson where you could form bonds and study the behavior of little kids.
So it really lays the foundation of studying young children and their development.
How would students benefit from this class?
It is having that knowledge, the science, the art of children and their growth and development, but also lays the foundation if you want to pursue a career in education, in psychology, psychiatry, in medicine, anything that actually deals with human interaction.
I was debating going into an educational field and something to do with small children, being a pediatrician, and kind of setting me up for the future, and now I know how kids work and how to work with kids.
It may not seem easy to deal with young children, but many find this course very enjoyable compared to other stressful classes.
I look forward to that block because we either have the children in class or we're just working on something easy with a partner or something, and it's just a good first block.
I do think it's an enjoyable class. One, we don't do testing per se, so it's really, students delving into their own creativity, create their own projects, so it's very hands-on.
I think all the activities are really fun because it's oriented and based for the kids. So we're kind of doing things that I would never do in any of my other classes. I get to use tools and we do crafts and stuff that I don't get to like do such hands-on activities in my other classes.
This class is really an interesting class because students get to do a lot of tangible, hands-on activities. So some of my favorites are creating bulletin boards because students get to develop their creativity, innovation, and their own individuality in what they're doing.
I feel like it's just a good experience all around because you kind of get to learn about like the development of children. So if you were to be a mother or like babysit or anything, I think it's a really good opportunity.
Not only would it benefit the students joining the class, but also the little children involved in the program. The National Education Association acknowledges these little learners in similar programs tend to be identified as needing less accommodations, are more likely to graduate from high school, and are even presented the opportunity to make higher earnings in the Air Force. These little kids will develop more creative and critical thinking skills that will help them in future grades. It also exercises the students' patience, and the class teaches them how to keep an open mind, which is needed in many careers. If you enjoy spending time with kids or want to go into a career involving different minds, this class may be for you.
It's very, almost impossible to describe the class. It's really an experience. So the entire school should take the course.
This has been Casey Mejia reporting for News from the Nest.
Wow, thank you, Casey, for that eye-opener to the many benefits of this class. I hadn't truly grasped the needed experiences we would go through. I'll make sure to check out the scheduling for that class soon.
The Academy Awards, also known as the Oscars, is an awards ceremony held every March once a year. Awards are presented to actors in films to recognize their cinematic achievements, artistic intelligence, and creativity. Andrea Riseborough was one of the many people that expected to receive an Oscar, but her reaction to not receiving one caused controversy for the Academy Awards. Here's Michael Safkan with more on this.
Many great Oscar Award winners earned their award. Did Andrea Riseborough? Andrea Riseborough is a 41-year-old British woman born in Newcastle, United Kingdom to parents George Riseborough and Isabel Johnson. To Leslie is the film that Andrea starred in last year, and her performance is getting nominated for a Best Actor/Actress award. To Leslie is a film that is about a hard-drinking Texan who won the lottery years ago but has blown through her money and destroyed all of her relationships because of it. Leslie's family is hesitant on what decision to make. Either let an addict hit rock bottom and drink her way to the grave, or extend help to an addict that needs it but might not want it. The film debuted at South by Southwest last March. To Leslie received mostly positive reviews. It earned less than $30,000 during its October release. The box office total was still so low that Riseborough's co-star, the podcaster Mark Maron, accused the To Leslie distributor Momentum Pictures of gross incompetence on Twitter, then blasted the studio for failing to submit the film for award consideration by most industry guilds. Riseborough's acting is good for an indie film but not worthy of an Oscar nomination. To stay in the conversation until the very end, it helps to win critics' awards and earn nominations at televised award shows, and Riseborough lagged on both counts. She hadn't mustered much more than an Independent Spirit Award nomination and had no deep-pocketed distributor ready to buy for your consideration ads on her behalf. By most experts' estimation, she was not a serious contender, nor even an on-the-bubble dark horse. But during the second week of January, just days before voting for the Oscar nominations began, a group of movie stars suddenly took to social media on Riseborough's behalf. Edward Norton was the first big booster, telling his 2 million Twitter followers that Riseborough's gave the most fully committed, emotionally deep, and physical harrowing performance I've seen in a while. The next day, Gwyneth Paltrow announced on Instagram that Andrea should win every award there is and all the ones that haven't been invented yet. The answer that emerged is that a late-breaking campaign had been waged by Riseborough's manager, Jason Weinberg, and the actress Mary McCormack, who is married to Morris, the To Leslie director, to get the film in front of as many of their famous industry friends as possible. To Leslie couldn't even afford any FYC ads, so the promotion for the movie was very poor. FYC ads are ads that help promote a movie or actors from that movie for awards. Riseborough's team bypassed the FYC ad industrial complex entirely, opting to wage a week-long war powered mostly by word of mouth instead of an expensive, multi-month campaign that would have involved roundtables, parties, red carpet appearances, film festival tributes, and endless press hits. Critics started to speculate that her grassroots campaign may have run afoul of the Oscar rules. Following backlash to the nomination, the Academy announced that it would be investigating the nominations process, though it did not specifically call out Riseborough's surprise nod at the time. The Academy later confirmed that it convened to discuss To Leslie's campaign. In a statement, the Academy announced that it had decided not to retract Riseborough's nomination. While studios often fund aggressive Oscar campaigns leading up to the nominations, including mailings to Academy members, private screenings, billboards and ad buys, and aggressive media pushes in print and on talk shows, To Leslie didn't have a major studio behind it to fund such an operation. Riseborough did not appear on the cover of magazines leading up to the nomination voting window, nor did she make the rounds on daytime television. Only members of the actors branch in the Academy vote for the nominations in the acting category, so they focused on actors like Charlize Theron, Kate Winslet, Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, and more, reaching out personally and asking them to check out To Leslie and consider Riseborough's performance. According to the Los Angeles Times, Morris and Riseborough's reportedly worked with a team of publicists who called the director's network of celebrity friends throughout the holidays, right before voting for Oscar nominations was going to start. The result was a massive wave of support from Riseborough's peers. Gwyneth Paltrow reportedly hosted a screening of the film in January. Demi Moore, Kate Winslet, and Amy Adams were enlisted to lead post-screening Q&As as voting was taking place. Others like Edward Norton, Helen Hunt, and Susan Sarandon reportedly championed Riseborough's performance on social media. Given the fact that award shows are known for being a popularity contest, this might not sound out of the ordinary. Some speculated that Riseborough's campaign might have broken Academy rules against lobbying members for nominations or votes. Last month, the Academy announced that it would be conducting a review of the 2023 Oscar nominations process, per deadline, to ensure that no guidelines were violated, and to inform us whether changes to the guidelines may be needed in a new era of social media and digital communication. This vague statement is in line with what had been reported that the Academy was looking into, and how the Riseborough campaign used social media posts to boost visibility, and specifically by asking other celebrities and other Academy members to boost the film on Instagram and Twitter if they liked it. There are also rules that limit the amount of mail and email sent to Academy members, and the content of such mailings. For example, mailings may not include pleas to watch the film or extolling the merits of a film, an achievement, or an individual. In their statement regarding the investigation into the campaign, the Academy did not specify what rules they suspected To Leslie's team to have broken. However, they noted, "We did discover social media and outreach campaigning tactics that caused concern." Riseborough will be able to keep her nomination, though the Academy stated that it is apparent that components of the regulations must be clarified to help create a better framework for respectful, inclusive, and unbiased campaigning, and that it expected changes to be made after this award cycle. Speaking with the Washington Post about her support for Riseborough, Winslet, who recently worked on a film with the actor, said that she was simply motivated to support a great performance. "In our industry, female actors are profoundly supportive of each other, but that's rarely written about," she said. "We all look out for each other." Riseborough remained quiet throughout the Academy investigation. It wasn't until a February profile with The Hollywood Reporter that she addressed the controversy, admitting that she is still coming to terms with the nomination means for me and for others. Riseborough said that she supported the necessary conversation her nomination inspired. At the end of the day, hard work pays off. People can go unrecognized for being unknown. This has been Michael Safgan reporting for News from the Nest.
I guess it must be hard to avoid controversy when it comes to the worldwide award ceremonies, but the outstanding job of the actors in film should be recognized more than the controversies. I will make sure to pay attention to that next time.
Know all the reasons you enjoy listening to music? Most people listen to music on a day-to-day basis, but do they all know the real advantages it can have for the brain and the way they feel or portray themselves from it? Reporter Greg Marshall has more on why we listen to music.
A lot of people deem listening to music as a hobby, but in some cases, it's more than that. Although music is an enjoyable experience that is universally liked by everyone, plays an important role in human well-being and health, it can serve as an intervention to reduce stress, and listeners can use music as motivation towards specific goals. An article in Psychology Today, written by Sharon Heshmat, PhD, states that the main reason people listen to music lies in the reward center of the brain. Listening to pleasurable music activates areas of the reward system. Musical pleasure arises when a pattern is interrupted in some way. Listeners experience strong emotions when something unexpected happens. You know when you get the chills while listening to a good song. According to Hashmat, music provides a means of escape. Music distracts our minds from the outside world. The use of music as background entertainment serves to get us into a positive mood or to become more alert. Music can relax the body because brainwaves are able to synchronize with the rhythm of a song. Additionally, another article by Dr. Wendy Sue Universe of Washington State University states that in modern times, research has shown us that the brain will release certain natural chemicals when listening to music. The body's nervous system produces endorphins, which can help reduce pain and stress. They're also known as feel-good chemicals. When people feel sad, they may turn to music to help them feel better. Music is one of the strongest means for evoking feelings of nostalgia. Listening to music that was played a lot during a significant life event, like a family celebration many years ago, can trigger a deeply nostalgic emotional experience. Chartwell.com's article on 5 reasons music should be in your life states that it improves memory and concentration, which can help you learn another language faster or more easily understand a challenging book. One study of seniors found that subjects' recall on memory tasks was faster and stronger when instrumental Mozart selections were playing in the background. Music can reduce pain. According to a study of patients with fibromyalgia, those who were randomly assigned to listen to music once a day for 4 weeks experienced less pain and depression than those who had no music. Music is also explained by the aesthetic impact of music, enjoyment, being moved, or inspiring. Subjectivity is central to aesthetic responses. A piece of music that is aesthetically appealing to one person can be repulsive to another. These differences come from personal experience and the attitude toward the music and the current mood. Many people use music as a distraction during exercise. Scientists suggest that's because that Broadway show tune you love is competing with your feelings of tiredness within your brain, and thus a distraction is born. Research also demonstrates that people walking on a treadmill were able to walk longer than they were listening to motivational music, making it the perfect accompaniment on your next walk. Music can be used to express a person's identity and values to others. Music helps us connect to others. Music is part of who we are. This has been Gregory Edwards Marshall reporting for News from the Nest.
That really helped provide some insight on the benefits I receive when listening to music. I hope you attain some of that knowledge too.
We hope you enjoyed the news packages on today's show. If you have any ideas about news stories that you think we should report on, contact us at ntfn@mhrd.org.
If you want to stay tuned for upcoming shows, check out our YouTube page by following the link at the bottom of the Morris Knolls webpage.
Hit the subscribe button and the bell to be informed of new uploads.
Tune in next week for another edition from our Block 5 class.
This has been the best from the Nest.